Hey folks, my name is Pravus, welcome to more EU4! We are playing as Portugal, going for that all-blue achievement in what I think will end up being the last episode of this series. Although it will take me a very long time to record it. So, Europe is currently starting to get overcome in the color blue. We've taken over most of the Balkans, we're getting some progress around the Baltics. Scandinavia's blobbing in Germany, so is France, it's about to happen more in Russia. Yeah, it's all starting to come together, even though all three of us are not coordinating our efforts at all, which is a crying shame. The real problem is, I seem to have made kind of everyone very, very angry at me for some reason. Which means a massive coalition has formed, and, well, if it gets any worse, then we're not gonna be able to do anything for a while. Like, the aggressive expansion is in the order of 200 for every single one of these countries. I can't bribe my way out of this one. So, I have two options. I either fight a giant coalition in one massive, painful war where I get basically nothing, just to have a bunch of different truce timers, and then hopefully get in before the next coalition starts, or I need to start picking it apart by attacking people from the outside and picking out major players from the coalition, and I have a couple options on that front. We can attack Scandinavia. Scandinavia is allied to Bohemia, so even though I don't want to take anything from Scandinavia, just the excuse of getting Bohemia in so I can separate peace with them will keep them out of the coalition. That would be one way to do it. That's a good 200,000 troops removed from the coalition. The second is to attack Alaska in order to bring in Canada to a war, who also amazingly has 220,000 troops. So take those two players out, I think a lot of the coalition will start to fall apart as long as we don't see people like Scandinavia join in on it. The thing is, it's a new recording session, sometimes these problems solve themselves. So let's unpause and see. Hey, that's the kind of thing you like to see. All right, a bunch of people leave the coalition on their own because the game recalculated. By Switzerland, Ulm, Brabant, Tuscany, Friesland, Hainaut, Bregenz, France, and Catholic Zealots, Papal, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there's a bunch of people. I think the whole coalition just disbanded, basically. Everyone's still very angry, but yeah, okay, I'm fine. Cool, never mind. We'll hold that as a back pocket option, though, and I might need to assert myself on Scandinavia at some point, just to show them who's boss. So I did want to fight people like the Papal States, although they have a lot of big allies, unfortunately. We could go fight Britain, though they are allied to the Commonwealth, who we do have a truce with, so this will be one way of breaking up that a little bit. Fighting Bohemia is also attractive to me, just to go ahead and start weakening their power base early, though that does mean, once again, I am stuck fighting Scandinavia, so I don't know, maybe that's okay with me, maybe it's not. Novgorod we can't fight right now. Crimea we could, though they're guaranteed by the Persians. We do have to fight Persia. So I could go fight Persia. Do I want to go fight Persia? Maybe. Ugh, Scandinavia. You need to stop with this whole, like, defender of the faith nonsense, okay? It's making it very difficult for me to go on a murder spree. Maybe we really should just go ahead and fight Scandinavia. Just to get a truce time with them so that they can't keep joining in on things against me. The problem with fighting them is they kept almost all of the forts of northern Germany. Which means actually getting in there to do some damage to them will hurt. It's gonna suck. But I do kind of feel like they're a major roadblock for us right now. They're already gonna get involved in like every single war in the HRE. If we are gonna do that, we should go ahead and start getting some troops into position, which is gonna take me a little while, unfortunately. All right, I think I stick with this plan. We have to be very careful because Scandinavia could definitely cause some damage, but they're a little distracted at the moment, so we'll do that, and I could co-belligerize Bohemia, though I'll have to fight other folks if I do. That said, how much damage does it really do? It adds about 80-ish, maybe 90,000 soldiers into the war. It's enough to be a problem, especially since I'm already kind of busy. So I think I won't do that for now. I think I'll just declare a good old-fashioned imperialism against the Scandinavians, even though ultimately it's a great misdirection. I don't care about you. You're not that special nor importante. So let the war begin. Now, of course, we have pretty good siege ability, so I'm hoping we're going to do a lot of damage. Out of curiosity, how good is the siege ability for my nation right now? 63.5%. This is pretty good. It could be a little higher with more army professionalism, but it's pretty good. So even these level 8 forts should fall, I won't say quickly, but it won't be nearly as bad as it could have been. Oh my gosh, Scandinavia, 2 stack ripes in a row? Ooh, that's a good way of knocking out a lot of your troops. We're a bit ahead of time, but do I want to go ahead and start working on some ideas? I'll go ahead and do it. Why not? Let's get really far ahead of time here. Grab the next idea group. I still think it's worth going for those influence ideas to make it very cheap for me to start annexing client states. That could boost up my growth a lot. Lets me hand off lots more land than my overextension would handle, plus it saves me admin power. Income from vassals doesn't excite me that much. Liberty Desire is not a bad thing to have on hand, though. Sure. Alright, I've done a lot of damage here to Bohemia. I've got 80% war score against them. I could probably get them out of the war here. Go ahead and join up all my lands along here, which makes it easier for me to get around. The big thing is to take as much as I reasonably can from these guys. I don't have any good way of handing off some stuff. I need to take away forts as well. That's kind of important. So for successive wars, if we take things around like Tyrol, for example, take some of these mountain forts away. You had others, get a couple around Sealy, for example. Just whatever makes it easier for me to take them in the future. That's all that I really care about. So while this isn't an absolute ton of land, it does at least the damage that I think I was looking for. And I am tempted to tell them to break off their relationship with Scandinavia, but I don't think I actually want to do that. Because it's one of the few ways I can take on a member of the HRE without calling in the HRE. So, yeah, I think this is gonna be the right way to go. Of course, that cost me all my Diplo power, because even with Imperialism, if you take things from the co-belligerents, or rather the participants in the war, it still sucks. Yeah, this siege ability is working out amazingly for me. So if you don't know, the way siege ability works is it doesn't, like, increase the chance of successfully making progress in a siege, I think. What it really does is increase the speed at which you get more of your siege ticks. So basically, if you can siege twice as fast as the other player, then you are going to get those forts down twice as fast. I mean, it's really, really strong. There goes Stockholm, by the way. Snake attack! You weren't expecting that, were you? What do we want to do next? I think I actually might want to just go ahead and declare war directly on the Emperor here. If he's stuck in stuff, he can't defend other folks. We can go ahead and start knocking out a bunch of little small players. The point is, doing this now just weakens the HRE. We can keep Scandinavia out of things for a bit. Let's go. And these are the kind of big wars we're going to have to take from here on out, right? I mean, like, if we really want to just go ahead and conquer all of Europe, that means I just kind of have to forget any sort of sense of aggressive expansion and just go conquering anyone literally in sight. So, Scandinavia, I don't think there's much I want from you. We could take a little land here in Europe just to make it easier for me to just kind of connect things up with Novgorod, but that's kind of it there. From there on out, what else would I care about? Just taking a few forts and handing them off to, let's say, my vassal or something? Yeah, that would make it easier if there does have to be some successive wars. You guys have way too many gosh dang forts, that's for sure. Mostly I just want to make sure we have a good long truce timer or something. You can stay allied to Bohemia, I guess. Maybe not, actually. Maybe I just want to go ahead and break that off. The land is nice and cheap, by the way, since I have 120 absolutism. Now, I don't actually want to eat Saxony in this war, because it's in my interest that the Emperor is a one-province minor. Imagine I get rid of Saxony and they make Bohemia the Emperor instead. That would be a problem, wouldn't it? So this is a nice little 100% peace deal. It knocks out Hainaut. Coburg, all of Augsburg, I think. No, almost all of Augsburg, and it takes out Ansbach, and I don't even have to take most of this, and it costs me no Diplo power because I'm getting all of this from the war leader. Thank you! Look at Hesse Groch, it's so beautiful! Now, let's see what else we can do. I think now's a good time to go ahead and fight against Persia. Bengal won't defend them, so that's a pretty sizable power out of the way. We can go ahead and take all the European territory I know that I'm going to need. Imperialism! And are there other wars worth doing right now? I mean, fight against Hera, guess who wants to join again? It's good old Scandinavia, who's back up to 100k troops already. That was faster than I expected. I knew I should have just broken Scandinavia even further. I should have done it. Oh well. We'll have to fight against the Commonwealth sometime here pretty soon as well, which could be our opportunity to go fight against Britain. Hungary I don't care about. The Papal State I do. Can't co-belligerize them because I don't really want to go fight Canada. Unless I can break Canada out of this whole situation by attacking Alaska now. And give my vassals something to do to earn their keep. Doesn't seem like too bad of an idea. Especially since they're kind of distracted against the French. Actually, if we just want to co-belligerize Canada, we could go fight the Papal State right now. Nah. I don't really think I benefit from co-belligerizing from them, because there's not much I want to take. But they shall know the wrath of Portuguese Imperialism! Okay, so 91% war score against Persia is good enough. Of course, gotta make sure I actually get the right regions. So, what's still in Europe? I need to figure that out again. It's everything here and up, right? Yeah, this is Europe, this is not, this is Europe. Okay, so everything from here and up. Got it. What about anything else? This is Asia, this is Asia, Asia. I don't think there's anything else I'm missing that they own. Worth noting, these states here are actually considered to be in Asia as well, though. So technically speaking, I don't need this stuff. I'll take it anyway just because I think it's going to look a little bit better, but yeah, that's fine. And let's make sure we take Hormuz, by the way. I need that for a mission. We're going to be grossly overextended coming out of this war, but that's honestly not a very big deal. So let's just give them a nice long truce timer so they stay the heck out of my way. Thank you! So, that mission I was talking about was the conquest of Hormuz. Done. Get a bunch of freebies over there. Now we have to take over this region of Oman. I mean, I'll be honest, these don't seem like high priorities at this point of the game, but it's things we can do. We're going to start the process of annexing Syria, but I am hoping that if we play our cards right, we'll be able to get the influence ideas completed well before we get to that point. Which means we'll be able to pass a policy and make it a lot cheaper. Let's go ahead and start getting ourselves prepped for our next big round of wars. This time I think it's going to be against Britain, the Commonwealth, and the Papal States. We need to make sure these guys get knocked down. Bohemia is trying to do their thing, but France is actually going to try and reconquer some land off of them too, so that works out nicely. So I'm going to let them be crushed. Novgorod doesn't even slightly concern me anymore. It really is going to come down to the Commonwealth and just staying out of everyone else's way. Ah, Bohemia is the emperor now. Okay. I guess it was only a matter of time. I'm having a lot of problems with rebels right now, by the way. Partly because we're chronically overextended, or at least we were. Due to the fact that I've done like 4 wars in a row with Canada, so I haven't actually been able to core any provinces, then I keep just tossing more and more onto the pile. Yay. The Commonwealth really is collapsing pretty quickly compared to some of the other guys, though. I think this guy might have been a paper tiger. He was already pretty low on manpower, but he has not managed to put up any fight at all. God, I love having such fast siege ability. Look how fast these ticks go by. Oh, Scandinavia is fighting Bohemia. They're going back and forth and back and forth. I mean, again, these are level 8 forts, and I'm taking like 2 months to get some of them. Like, this is incredible. So how much can I take out of Britain right now? Probably a pretty good amount. All but Ireland, that's another 100% overextension practically, though. Jeez. Alright, whatever, fine. Alright, well, it's fine. Didn't take a ton out of the Pope at the end of the day, but we did eat the rest of Mainz, feed that off to Hesse, so again, that's still turning more things blue. This is gonna take a while, man. If I declare war on Bohemia directly while they are actively fighting 2 separate wars and they're nice and weak, that'll prevent them from defending other people, like Gelre doesn't have very many allies. Brabant does not have any allies except for Gelre. We could probably take on Tuscany. We could start working toward a few other folks. Yeah, I think we go ahead and just attack Bohemia directly since they seem highly distractible. And I've got a bunch of troops just waiting in the wings. Besides, I have plenty of other things I need to take from them in my imperialistic conquest. Oh, wait, I forgot! Oh, you can't declare war on members of Empire if they're already at war with Emperor. Dang it! That was a brilliant plan completely gone now. Okay, right. I think that's a dumb restriction, by the way. I should absolutely be able to pin the Emperor down into multiple wars. That should be a thing. What do you mean I have to play fair? That's ridiculous. Okay, this seems like a pretty decent amount of territory to take off of Bohemia in one nice swoop. And the thing is, I'd like to go ahead and kick off my next war right away, but if I do, then I won't be able to core some of this land, and I'll stay overextended, which will make it difficult later, so I have to wait at least a little bit. Screw it, let's go kill Novgorod. Yeah, I gotta fight Scandinavia in the process, but that's fine. Okay, I'm gonna take all this land off Novgorod, finish off the revolution in the Golden Horde, Kazan, take a couple of key forts away from Scandinavia to make it even easier if I do have to fight them again in the future, and that's gonna have to be good enough. Okay, we've joined all our land up. Commonwealth, you're surrounded! Do we want to fight Bohemia again? The answer is, of course, yes, we most certainly do. Especially if they only have 34,000 troops. What a pushover. One final government reform, by the way, is now upon us. The separation of power. More maximum absolutism. Very tempting. Free policies. Monarch Diplo skill. Oh, I mean, I do like that, but I mean, it's hard to say no to max absolutism. That's just objectively better, right? Okay, there's influence ideas done. Finished with all of that. We have some new acts that I can pass. Diplo annexation cost reduction 15%. Thank you. Which means we more than finish annexing Syria. So boom, as of next month, that is going to be going away. Oh my god, we're getting so many freaking rebels. It's insane. I hate it. All right, there we go. Boom. So that's now taken care of. Our font grows. Bedtime for me, but I'll be picking this up shortly. Yeah, like I said, it's going to come down to breaking things at the Commonwealth again and again and again, just grinding them down. But most of Germany's done, so we're getting closer. Okay, new recording session for me. So, confession, I was dreaming about EU4 last night. That does happen on occasion. And I had a really, really bad premonition that I got to the end of this achievement run, and Scandinavia did not count as a blue country. I really don't know. I am banking my entire achievement run on the assumption that a blue country counts as a blue country because it's a tag switch. The thing is, it might be because I know that some nations, I remember seeing this on the wiki some time ago, something like Prussia and Bavaria and Sardinia Piedmont, for example, I know those count, and those are formable tags. They don't exist at the beginning of the game. But I don't remember seeing Scandinavia on that list. So even though a blue country became a blue country, if I'm wrong on this, I don't have a lot of time to correct it. We might need to consider finding excuses to go and murderfy Scandinavia and try to make this part of my run as well. France, I know, is good. But if I can find a way to fit this in and kill Scandinavia, and I have enough power for it, we probably should try, right? I think maybe, yeah. The other thing I realized that I could do, this one did not come to me in a dream, but I think that I could do it. We could dismantle the HRE. That would make life easier, right? It's gotta, right? If I were to attack Brabant, for example, over Mion, they are going to be defended by Gera and Switzerland and Bohemia, and if I just come over here and siege down the capital of Bohemia, I think I can just dismantle the HRE. Why? Because the only other elector is my vassal. So that eliminates the whole, like, oh, we can demand land thing. No longer an issue. Plus, Bohemia stops getting called into wars, so it should be easy to just kind of isolate and kill them, right? Right? I think maybe yes. So I'm kind of leaning in that direction. I feel like we probably ought to consider doing that. Switzerland, I would like to also be killing. They are guaranteed by the French. Not that I'm especially worried about the French, but we're going to have to deal with them probably at some point too. Never a bad idea to just kind of remind them of their place, you know? That said, I don't think we have to do anything about them. I think we're okay if we just do this. So, we're gonna go ahead and do another one of these imperialism wars as soon as I have a guy to do the war. Hold on, come back here, diplomat, thank you. Imperialism! We'll do this. We're gonna dismantle the HRE, and then hopefully that makes things easier. There's Prague. Can I dismantle? I can. Bye-bye, HRE. That's a bunch of prestige for me. So in this war here with Brabant, I can take some important forts away from Bohemia. I can eat the rest of Switzerland. It won't cost me any Diplo power, because this is the advantage of declaring war on like small one-province minors and dragging their allies in that way. You have a lot of leftover war score that you can use to just take other provinces you claim, and they'll give them to you and it won't cost you much. So this is a way of eliminating another couple of players from the game. Good. I don't think I can feed Hesse anymore, though. Unfortunately, because they are getting a little bit too fat, and the result is they're becoming disloyal. That's fine, though. We can find some other folks within Scandinavia's territory we could create that's blue. Does Bremen still have a core here somewhere? Yeah, there's Bremen right there. That's blue. And weirdly enough, I think I saw Norway is considered to be blue as well. We could actually release Norway as a vassal, and that could be an easy way of handing off some territory right now, wouldn't it? Yeah, not a bad idea. So who should I attack next? We could go fight the Commonwealth, though it would be nice to co-belligerize Hungary and Britain at the same time, because I can finish some of these guys off. so I do need to do that. Oh, gosh. We also need to fight a bit more against the Muslims. Persia holds some land I need. Bukhara has land. And that probably means I have to fight against their defender of the faith, which is Bengal. So there's going to be a fair bit more that needs to be done, unfortunately. Novgorod can't do anything about. Scandinavia can't do anything about. Alright, and in the Papal State, I can't fight either for a little bit longer. Would it make sense to attack, like, Hungary instead? Might make more sense to attack Hungary directly and then co-belligerize everyone else. And then I can focus fire on taking land from the Papal State, piecing them out, coring it, then Britain, coring it, and then the Commonwealth, and since, Hungary's small, I can take a good chunk away from them. Maybe? I don't know. What's important is not to finish off the Papal State. I cannot take Rome until the very end of this achievement. Why? Because I will lose, 10 Papal influence per year? Which also, I'm already getting nothing. Oh, because the Papal State hates me. Well, I mean, apparently I'm just not much of a Catholic anymore, so maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe I can just take Rome if I want to. I don't know. Ugh, we are getting so many gosh dang rebels, though. It's so annoying. Honestly, I'm kind of remembering now, how the last couple of series have been like, oh, I'm loving EU4. I forgot how much I love this game. I'm starting to remember why I stopped. Imperialism's fun and all. It really is. But once you get to this stage of the game, it becomes a little bit tedious. And it's no longer about skill so much as how do I murder everyone as optimally as possible, while also having enough troops to just run around and deal with rebels so I don't have to think about it because they're really annoying. And I'm not even going for a world conquest run here, I just want to take over the rest of frickin' Europe. And I'm not even sure how much time I've got to do that, it's pretty close. I am going to release Norway, by the way. Let's do it. Boom. They get, like, an island. Oh no, who cares? But if I can feed them and they count as blue, okay. The thing is, like, I've only got so much admin power to go around. I have to be able to feed some vassals or we're never going to be able to make this. We could try releasing client states as well if I plan on annexing them, but by using blue nations like Bremen and Norway, I leave myself the opportunity to not annex them and that would still be fine. Okay, truces are up. Let's go ahead and start up the next war. This time, once again, I'll be co-belligerizing pretty much everyone. And it does call in some allies with the Papal State, which is annoying, but not the end of the world. Strasbourg, I can also feed off to Hesse. That would finish them off. Wurzburg, okay, if I go that far, I call in France, which I don't see as a good opportunity. So, this is a lot of people to be fighting, a lot of truce timers, but if I can capitalize on this really well, it's probably fine. So, how about another imperialism? Okay, looks like Britain's actually going to be the first to fall. So maybe I can full annex them entirely right now. Let's find out. I could start that coring process. Yep, sure enough. All right, say bye-bye, Britain. So that'll take a good couple of years, but we've started that process at 50% overextension. This is not even slightly a contest, by the way. The Commonwealth is just getting stack-wiped nonstop. I think I've killed like 150,000 troops on their end already or something. The Papal State's been stack-wiped. Yeah. We're doing fine. Could even get the next level of military tech and really cement my lead. We're getting to a point where I could really start going for Space Marines, especially once I do get to the next idea group. Quality ideas would be an option for us. The other alternative is say, screw it, go for Diplo ideas, with the main goal being that I can just truce break with less of an impact. And that's kind of it. And if I'm in a position where I feel like I'm really racing the clock, that would be the better choice. Now, what might actually make sense is, instead of taking land from the Commonwealth right now, what if I just white peace with them so I only have a 5-year truce timer? Because if I try to take anything from them, I'm going to cost myself a massive amount of Diplo power that I don't really have to spare. But if I have a really short truce timer, I could go to war with them again. Yeah. That actually is fine. I think that's probably the better way to go right now. I know it sounds silly, maybe even borderline cowardly, but I do think it's the right call. This might allow me to take more land from the Papal State and not worry about the Diplo cost. So like if I took all this from Hungary, I could leave them alive, because a small nation, again, isn't a bad thing. And then I can take land like this, take away the forts, leave Rome behind. It's a lot of overextension, I'll have to live with it, but I can afford it, and that leaves the Papal State as an individual one-province minor. Yes. But I guess since we're waiting, we can turn our attention to the Muslims and go fight in the east. The Ottomans still hold Rhodes. Like, I can't allow that. I need to take this land over here as well. Which, yeah, that leaves Bukhara, a couple provinces from Siberia. I don't think I need anything in Nogai. No, so that's not relevant necessarily, unless I want to. So Bukhara, if I fought against you, that's Persia, Crimea, Bengal. Not a fan of any of that. If I fight against Siberia and declare this war separately, that's a different way of fighting Bengal, and then they won't defend in the larger, scarier wars. Yeah, then I could also look at fighting Crimea. I do want to fight them. I'd rather not fight Gujarat if I don't have to. There's not really an advantage for me doing that. But we already have to fight them if I'm going to fight against the Ottomans, so maybe there is a point in doing that then. Would it be worth declaring against Siberia, get Bengal in a bogus war, then declare on the Ottomans, fight Persia and Gujarat, and then while that's distracted, go fight Bukhara and Crimea? Yeah, that's a way of dividing up the war in a very sensible way. See, this is how the late game works, and it's not as fun as it should be, man. All right, let's go ahead and kick this thing off. Imperialism! Oh. Stack wipe like that helps, though. Good lord, that's like 90,000 troops dead just like that. Boom, baby! One way I could peel off Persia is if I declared a war against these little guys over here. Not that Basra matters or anything, but like if I did... we're getting complicated. 4 wars simultaneously just to have better truce deals. Blah, 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 blah. I guess it makes a bit of sense. Alright, yeah, sure, why not? Here we go. Imperialism! Goal here is to knock Persia out of the war as fast as I can. There's no benefit to fighting any longer than I have to. Oh, except for destroying their flagship. That's fun. Wait, did I sink it around the Strait of Hormuz? I did. Topical references are topical, huh? I would love to take some land off of Gujarat, but I know that this is not a good idea right now. I just want to blob, man. I want to blob everywhere but Europe and form a proper empire, but I'm not allowed. I'm supposed to stay laser focused or something. All right, now I should be able to piece a couple folks out, right? So, Revolutionary Persia, nothing I need from you. Get out. Oh, we actually finished a mission. I totally forgot about this. Portuguese Oman is now done. Not that I benefit from trade power and defensiveness, but we have clashed with the Ottomans many a time. This doesn't do me a lot of good either, but whatever. Cool. Freebies. I feel like it's probably time to go ahead and kick off our next war here. We're going to go ahead and fight against the Commonwealth. One gigantic imperialistic war against them. And I'll separately declare on Scandinavia. And then if they're not guaranteeing Novgorod, I'll declare on them. 3 big wars. And then it's going to come down to bouncing between these two as frequently as is possible, which I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do in a timely fashion, but we'll see. Anyway, without any further ado, imperialism! Now, as far as what I need to take away from Bukhara, it's this side of the river and down, basically, and then over. Okay. So I can do that with Crimea, but I can also hold off on this war for a little bit since I am overextended. Not that it would do me a lot of good, to be honest. Guess I might as well just go ahead and bite the bullet. I'm going to be overextended again. It'll happen. Alright, so you... Oh, shoot. I have to actually siege these down before I can demand them, though. Ah, there we go. Alright, so let's grab all of this. I think this is everything we need for Europe. Yep, that looks right to me. Okay, that's the eastern border to secure. Collapse on them! 98% war score is more than enough for what I need. So, Commonwealth, how do you want to do this? I might create a client state here. I can take anything I want with no diplo cost, so let's go ahead and plan on taking a bunch of land out over here. Where are all your forts? The less forts you have, like let's say along this side, the easier it's going to be for me to kill you going forward. I'm gonna be overextended, at least until I create a client state, but that's fine if I'm honest. Yeah, this is at least acceptable to me. I take a bunch of this land for myself, I knock out like 5 forts down here, I get rid of Hungary, and then I'll turn most of this into a client state. so I'm not dying on overextension. Okay, there we go. We've got Kursk. I will annex them diplomatically later. That saves me about 100% overextension. And then we're going to immediately declare our next round of wars, starting with Scandinavia, imperialism, and then separately, let's go ahead and declare another imperialism war against Novgorod, and I think we'll be able to fully eat them in this war. And let's not forget that Scandinavia could be scary here. They've got 500,000 troops they're sitting on, and only one front, and they'll just throw themselves at me relentlessly. It's going to at least partly come down to who has the best siege ability and who can pay attention. And in the meantime, I'll do a sneak attack trying to get to Stockholm. I just gotta keep intimidating him. That's it. The Swedes are very easily intimidated, a very skittish folk. Yeah, the Swedes are doomed. They decided to go ahead and just park 350,000 troops on one fort in the Highlands. Tell me how that's supposed to make sense. The answer is it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, Novgorod has nothing left whatsoever, so we can go ahead and start the process of annexing them. I've got enough admin power to make this work. I assume we can eat everything. It looks like the answer is yes. Okay. So that'll be one big chunk of land removed from the game. We're overextended, but you know, at this point, I think extension is just kind of a number. So, Russia be mine now. Thank you. All right, so Commonwealth, Scandinavia, the two main players. And I don't even know about Scandinavia. I just got a real bad feeling, you know? Oh, come on. Alright, my perfectly good plan of releasing Bremen is gone. It looks like in the time between me having this idea and now, they have disappeared as a nation. There is no core for Bremen. They're all gone. They're all dead! Every last one of them. Dead, I tell you! Right, is there anyone else that could count, like Thuringia or anything like that? Does anyone exist with cores that could be useful to me? I really doubt it, but, I mean... Anyone? No, they're all dead, dead, dead. Dang it, all the heckin' heck. Alright. So that means I need to feed a lot of land off to Norway, and I might still need to create a client state. There's enough time to annex 2 client states. I just don't want to make them too big, or that'll be a problem. Also... I'm sorry. I fought this 300,000 stack here with like 160,000, trickled them in, won. I think they retreated into Hesse's loving arms and instantly died, and I just stack wiped 300,000 troops. Yup, they've got 66,000 remaining. Oh, ain't that just beautiful? Do I have enough for a 100% peace deal against Scandinavia already? I actually might. Hold on. Let's go ahead and... Really? Returning cores is going to cost me Diplo power. Arst thou serious? Fine. I'll do it manually, and it will cost me nothing. Well, I say that. I think it actually cost me a teeny bit less war score. Unless I'm very much mistaken. Like, if I took all of this and handed it back to Norway, it's 38% war score as opposed to 53. All right, I stand corrected. It is worth losing the Diplo power just to be able to take more. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take all this land. I'm going to feed it to Norway. I'm going to take Lubeck. I'm going to create myself a little client state. It won't be big, but that starts the whole 10-year countdown before I be able to annex them. And by placing along here, I'm pretty sure I screw over Scandinavia, so they won't be able to defend themselves in a few different places. Wherever they build their army, they won't be in a position to defend elsewhere, which makes my life easy. So okay, all right. I'm going to do Norway a favor and just build out this copper mine real quick because this thing is worth a lot of money for them. Actually, they can't even eat all of this. It's too much for their poor little overextended brains. Oh well, let's create the nation of Scandi Sucks. And then I only have to annex a small amount of land. I'm pretty overextended, but that was a pretty good way of crushing a lot of this. Okay. Back to the Commonwealth. Oh, right, now I get to fight Scandinavia again. Hey, this is another way of setting another truce timer back down by another 10 years. And they have no troops, so who even cares? This is perfect. I don't want to do a co-belligerizing against Memmingen, unfortunately. That wouldn't go over very well. Unless I attack Memmingen. No, I just don't want to fight France. I don't see any reason to fight France. There's no point. All right, we're good. Imperialism! Hi, Scandinavia. Did you miss me? I'm back! And we'll go right back to sieging down literally everything. Perfect. And even forget Bohemia. They don't even matter. Just get to the Commonwealth, siege down their capital, try to knock him out. Yes, France, declare imperialism against Scandinavia. Help me! Alright, Scandinavia wants out. White peace, 5-year truce timer, perfect. Commonwealth wants out, 5-year truce timer, perfect. Unfortunately, France has decided to get in the way of me annexing all of Bohemia in one shot. It's annoying, but we have time to correct that still. Oh, no, wait, France peaced out. Perfect, thank you, I'll eat all of it. Yum, 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 yum. Alright, mine. So that finishes off the HRE, formally. So it's just the Commonwealth for sure, possibly Scandinavia, and then, of course, Rome. You know, I really wish you could move this Achievements tab. But if I hover over this, it sure looks like... Looking for pink outlines here. Yeah, Annex Kirks. Okay, it does... Ooh! Okay, Scandinavia is highlighted purple. That means that Scandinavia does not count, which means I was right! I was right to kill them! Should have been doing this a long time ago, is what it actually means. But, I mean, okay. We caught it before it was too late! We're gonna be fine! I hope. I pray? Maybe? But now I literally have nothing to do but 5 years of just building up peace and other things. I mean, we could go kill people for fun. It's always fun to kill, right? Meh. So wait, is Norway on this list for sure? It is! I see it there. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Any other nations I might have overlooked? I don't think so. Portugal, France... No, we've got everybody I could. Aside from maybe forming and releasing Prussia, I have no other options for blue countries. Okay, so I'm on the right track then. Norway, you can have all of Scandinavia. I do not care. I'll go ahead and take Rome now. Thank you very much. Of course, now Rome is mad, and I'm not going to support the recreation of a papal state. Even though, technically speaking, this might be one way of trying to reset my, well, antagonism with the Pope, but it's whatever, he's fine. So, we have a new idea group. What do we want? We could go for the military ideas. Or I could say, screw it, go for Diplo. And then we may have to do some truce breaking. Alright, I don't think I need more Space Marines. I think this is actually fine. But the Diplo rep will end up being helpful for me for annexation of client states. The province war score cost means I can take more. And then, of course, yeah, truce breaking is an option. Truce of Scandinavia done. Immediately gonna declare ourselves another imperialism war. Truce of the Commonwealth also expires almost at exactly the same time, which means we do some more imperialism. Oh, France finally finished over with Scandinavia. They took some land up here. Well, I don't really like the border gore of it, but you know what? I can't be that upset because you are painting the map. So fine. It's gross, but fine. Who the heck wired this sap me free? Imperialism! I mean, really, you thought I was just gonna let these guys live? Ridiculous. Oh, frick me. Saxony and Lusatia exist as well. France, why did you have to do this? Why did you have to get these guys involved? Why? I already killed them all. I didn't need to fight them again. What, Novgorod exists too? Oh, for God's sake. So this is what I can take out of the Commonwealth in this war. Dude, it's still not enough. Okay, what can I take away here from Scandinavia? Should be a lot. It is a lot. Holy crud, I can take a ton. Yeah, a lot more than I expected. We can almost finish off Scandinavia. Wow. So why is the Commonwealth giving me so much trouble is my question. That's all I can feed them. I don't want to create another client state because we're getting kind of close to the end here. But that leaves me with a whopping 320% over extension. Yay-zums. I'm probably overdoing it a little bit. And of course, I'm now completely out of admin power, but we're coring most of it. Okay. Oh, gosh. All right, 15 years remaining. The next truce, that's going to be close to 1792. That'll be enough time to finish off Scandinavia. My only question is, will it be enough time to finish off the Commonwealth, who is no longer even in the world power list? So, I mean, we've definitely taken a lot of good stuff away from them, but is it enough? Can I get it done in one war, or do I need two? I think I need two. And until I get any allies, all right, it's well past midnight here, so I need to take a quick break. Saxony and Novgorod I can do. I'll have to fight France, no big deal. Commonwealth, boom, boom, done. If I truce break, so freaking be it. Alright, another day, let's finish off strong. Weirdly enough, I reloaded the game, and it looks like France has retracted their defense of Saxony. Couldn't tell you why, but something recalculated, so we'll do a little heckin' imperialism on them. They only got like a few thousand troops. It's really not even fair. It's like murdering a child in the cradle. That's a really sick... forget that. Just, no, scratch it. But basically, we're this close to finishing. One war with Scandinavia should be enough. Maybe 2 wars against the Commonwealth. We have about 44 years before the end of the game. And we only need 30 or so. 32, 33, give or take, in order to take the rest of the Commonwealth. So as long as I can time the annexation of Kursk and Scandi sucks over here properly, we should be able to handle this beautifully, and that will be the end of the achievements. We're this close, so I got time to kill. Too bad I don't have, like, infinite admin power, otherwise I'd happily go on a mass conquest spree and just see how much of the coastlines I can seize before the end of the game. I think part of the problem with conquest in this game, something changed in EU4, where the AI just has way too much inclination to dev if they can't think of anything to do. Like, something got screwed up in the monarch power. For example, if I look at this territory in Africa, they've had nothing to do for forever, so provinces are all like 30 or 40 plus development each. That's more than Europe. That's more than China. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And it's one of those things where, like, I think somewhere eventually toward the end of EU4's development, they really screwed something up with monarch points. I don't exactly know how to make it better. I just know that, like, you shouldn't have small nations just sitting there getting taller and taller and taller to the point where, like, even by the age of imperialism, it's like, it's a little too expensive to take that. Really? It's freaking Africa. I should be able to take all of it. That's how it works. But I've had arguments before with people about, like, oh, how much does realism really matter? And stuff like that, you know? It's like, I mean, I don't know. I think in a game called Europa Universalis, it's okay that Europe-centric stuff's a little bit overpowered, especially if you do give, you know, a bit of homage to the empires that rose and fall across, like, China, Japan, India, and so on. But when little small nations back here have the same tech level as Europe and more development than Paris, I'm just gonna say something feels off. It means the game balance ain't working the way it's supposed to, you know? Let's go ahead and start the annexation process here with Kursk. It's gonna take a while, it's gonna drain most of my Diplo power. I don't have much of a bank is the problem. How do we time this out? It's a lot larger than Scandi sucks, so I'm gonna have to see if I can find a way to time this, I guess? This is gonna be really tough to get to work right, actually. I'm kind of worried I'm gonna go so low in my Diplo rep that I'm not gonna be able to annex Scandi sucks for a few years. But, you know, I mean, with 5 Diplo rep, I think we'll be okay even if that does happen. Oh my gosh, an event that actually reduced the cost by 15%? That just made this an incredibly fast annexation. Wow, okay, yeah, we need to try to do both of these. I just happened to stack that up with getting my papal legate at the exact same time. That's so lucky. There goes Kursk. And we almost finished Scandi sucks at the same time. Okay, not bad. We were pretty close. And there we go. Denmark is now under my control as well. Okay, literally just 2 wars left. By the way, say goodbye to all of the states up here in North America. That's now dealt with. All right. Looking pretty colonized right there. Let's go ahead and take over all of Burma real quick. That finishes another mission. Boom. Oh, shoot. I can't create a client state because it's overseas. You're telling me I have to core all this? I didn't want to core all this, but fine, I guess. I'll take my precious admin power. Though I suppose equally I could just release, like, Pegu and then just have them as a vassal instead. Actually, yeah, I'd rather do that than waste all of my precious admin power right now. I need as much as I can get. There's my truce with the Commonwealth. All right, we all know how this works. Imperialism! I think they have more cannons than infantry. Not a smart play, boys. There we go. That's almost 100%. All right, let's see what the damage is. How much can I take in 1 or 2 wars? If I have to do truce breaking, then so be it. That's how it'll be, but let's just kind of see, shall we? Not as much as I might have hoped, if I'm honest. Not as much as I might have hoped. I'm looking at the rest of this, and this is the biggest, densest territory. The rest is kind of pretty cheap. But I may not have much of a choice, except to do a second war. I don't know if I can eat all this in 1 more war. And if that's the case, we're gonna have to truce break. It's the only way I'm gonna make it in time. I mean, I don't know, maybe I can. I'm looking at the rest of this, and it's like, most of this territory isn't that bad. There's 1 province worth 40 dev, but that's about it. 1 war, maybe? I don't know. It also may not matter in a little bit, because I'm gonna finish up my Diplo ideas, at which point truce breaking is not even that big of a problem. So, Why not? Anyway, Scandinavia, your turn. You know how this works. Get in the kidnap bag. Well, we're already at 99% war score. That took no time at all. They had no forts left. What do you know? And I do think I will go ahead and do a truce break. Why? Because if it's only going to cost me 2 stability, I can use Papal Influence to just get that right back, so who even cares, man? So it seems reasonable enough to me. All I have to do is wait until I finish coring all this territory, because otherwise it's going to get blocked from coring while I fight the Commonwealth again, and then we can see if we can take this all in one big war. Okay, 3 stability. My mistake. Whatever. Who even cares? I'm not going to get it all in this war. I'm almost positive now. It's pretty tight, but it's not going to be. It's going to be off by just a few provinces, right? Maybe? No, we can! Barely! Oh, wait. No! We are 1 province off! There it is! 1 island? Arest thou with kidding it me? No! Not fair, no! Alright, another 200% overextension. Here we go. Why not? We're 1 freaking province off. Not that I have anywhere near enough admin power anyway, but that's beside the point. The good news is the achievement doesn't care if it is cored, just that it is owned. And by the way, it does confirm we're 1 province off. So I'm not missing anything. No, gosh dang it, stop making me lose stability. What is wrong with this game? Fine, frick it. If that's how you're gonna be, screw it. Go down to -3 stability. Why not? All the way down to -3 stability. I don't even care anymore. We get the fort instantly, and in less than a month it's done. Okay, achievement gained. Oh my God, what a pain in the patootie. There's my all blue achievement. All right, we're incredibly unstable, but who even cares? I've got, how many troops do I have? 3 million soldiers to keep the rebels at bay. What's the worst that could possibly happen? And in the meantime, all of Europe has been painted blue. I own all of it except for France. We have, what, 24 years left in the game. If I had more admin power, that would be enough time to go around and actually conquer the rest of Africa and maybe a good chunk of Indonesia, maybe kind of start getting a little bit more of India, certainly the coast of China. Lots of cool things I could do, but I can't possibly care anymore because that was a slog. How long has this been recording? Oh, good. It's been about an 11 to 12 hour episode. Love it. This is why I don't play all the way toward 1800 anymore. It is not nearly as fun. Nonetheless, how are we looking as far as our final great power values? We're at almost 24,000 development in my empire. France is the only true runner-up at 2,000, so we're an order of magnitude stronger than our next competitor. Then you have people like Delhi, Persia, and so on. And by the way, they've been having a fun time spreading the revolution about, but I can't be bothered with any of that. So, that's an achievement down. Holy crud. Portugal, strong, had fun. But I'll tell you, man, I could be wrong, I really could, but I think somewhere in the last expansion or two, which I know is a while ago, they changed up how the AI does development, which is making mass conquest so much harder because everything's just stupid expensive. I remember the days when I could conquer like an entire half of China in 1 war, and who even cared, right? It wasn't even a thing because they didn't cost that much war score or that much power. It was just your overextension that mattered. Whatever, it's fine, it's fine. Thank you all, folks. That's all the EU4 I've got for now, and at least for a little bit. I apologize it took so long to get this episode out. There's a lot of stuff going on in life right now, which I may or may not be able to tell you guys about in the future. We'll see in a couple of weeks. But for now, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and the notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.